Welcome to the Nutty Knitty Sisters podcast, a podcast about knitting, spinning, and fiber-related creations. We're your hosts,
Julie
and Judith.
You can find us on social media as Nutty Knitty Sisters on Instagram, at Nutty Knitty Sisters on YouTube, and you can email us at nuttyknittysisters@gmail.com.
If you're watching for the first time, welcome, and thanks for joining us.
If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and thanks for returning. We'd appreciate it if you'd click the subscribe button below so you don't miss any broadcasts.
Click that bell, you'll be notified as soon as new videos are loaded.
Now, grab your knitting, find a comfy spot,
And let's get a little nutty. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Nutty Knitty Sisters podcast. This is episode 6. We have just come back. Well, it's been about a week since we were back from NETA Spa in Freeport, Maine, which was a blast.
Yeah.
We had such a good time. And we didn't have any snow really to speak of. We had that one day it spit a wee bit. But yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. So updates. Julie, what do you have for updates? What's going on in your world?
I'm begging my husband to come home. Please.
Bet you never would have expected that. There's a bombshell.
Oh, my word. So much to do.
A guy at work today, he ran down to my desk and was like, come here. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Ran down to his desk and he had his phone. He was watching stuff on his phone.
Uh-huh.
He was watching the drag strip wherever.
Oh.
And Willie came up on it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
He must have been guiding Scott into line or something. Because they usually don't film too much.
name was on the thing. Like he was running, like he was racing. Uh-oh. Sorry, Willie.
I guess we'll have to have a talk about this.
Whoops. Cat.
Oh.
Maybe they put the helpers' names up there, too.
Yeah, maybe. Because he texted me earlier today and told me that Scott won class and almost wiped out doing it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Yikes.
He better not have his butt in one of them cars.
And on to new news. What else is How are the chickens?
The chickens are really good.
Yeah.
Let's move on to chickens. Yeah. Spring is coming because egg production is going up.
Yeah.
I was only getting like 6 or 8 eggs a day, and now I'm up to 10 and 11. We'll
Nice.
make our dozen yet.
Yay.
Dozen a day.
And I love it because when she comes over to record, she brings me eggs. And it's usually weekend I have the kids and they love them. So thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
chickens.
And you're lucky because I've been selling them at work ttoo.
Yeah.
And
They've been going.
they didn't go this week.
Oh,
so I was
well,
like,
there.
2
I'll
dozen going
benefit
home with
from
me.
that.
Go to see.
Mine are not producing anything. I don't know if they ever will again. They're old and they had the trauma last summer. So
We'll get you some more reds this spring.
yeah. Yeah. What else?
What else? Still waiting to make a potentially life-changing decision, and it's being stalled.
Yeah. I wish I could make that decision too.
Oh.
I like the people I work with. And the company I work for has been very, very good to me for many, many, many years. But I think, we started working when we were like...
Oh gosh, I started
14,
babysitting when I was 13.
Yeah. I mean, I got a work permit and started working in a restaurant when I was 15, 16 years old. So, and then I've worked for this company for 23 years. And there's I think when you start working that early in your life, you're ready for retirement a lot earlier.
Yeah. Yep, I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I've always worked, except
Yes.
time off to have my kids.
Yes.
But
Yep.
I went back to work after I had kids. So.
Yep. I was like 6 years I didn't work because I was raising the babies, but
Yep.
then went right back as soon as they were old enough to go to school. So, yeah, I think you have the sabbatical option.
Yeah.
At work. I think that's really smart. I think any big company that, there's high expectation or high stress. I think the sabbatical thing is a godsend. I mean, if I could take 3 weeks off right now and just like unplug from work, I would probably be a lot better going back.
Yeah,
having that break.
Ready and raring to go when I got back, and you know, we accomplished a lot. 11 years there, so next year would be halfway to another sabbatical. But I got a couple of options in the works, and just waiting to see what work does with end of the year things.
We just need to be
so I can compare,
wealthy and just podcast all the time.
Can't hold my breath yet.
No, we're not sponsored, so that's not happening anytime soon. But it's fun.
Yeah, that's why we started it.
Yep.
With no intentions of much of anything. Just go on, chronicle our adventures, share our adventures.
Yeah. Well, there's not much going on in the Stover household at all. Michael had his knee surgery. Everything went well. He's pretty much back to normal. He goes to, it's physical therapy, but he calls it pain and torture. PT is not for physical therapy. It's for pain and torture. He's a little sore when he gets back from that, but it's going well. He's so proud of himself. He's able to squat down and stand back up, like the knee bends. So so he's a little bit nicer to live with. What else? Sammy had her birthday yesterday. Sammy turned 26. My baby, my youngest, turned 26 yesterday. So I actually bought her for Christmas. I bought her like a crochet kit. I bought her a project bag. I printed off a pattern from Expression Fiber Arts, a crochet pattern for a scarf. I bought her a hook, and I bought her 2 skeins of coordinating Malabrigos Rios. And then I had one more present for her than I did for Kayla. So I'm like, that's a birthday present now. I've sat on that since December. I'm pretty proud of myself. So she's kind of excited to have real fiber, as she calls it. She always has done red heart and acrylic, and so she's excited to work with some wool.
Another one will be winning over.
We'll have her going on yarn adventures before too long. Other than that, I'm doing a no snooze challenge. If you know Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule, one of the biggest themes of that book is no snoozing. So I have been not snoozing my alarm. It's going on the second week now, and oh my God, what a difference it makes in my morning. What a difference. I put my phone in the bathroom, so I can't snooze it. I have to get up to turn the thing off. And I set it half an hour earlier than I normally get up, so I get up at 4:30 every morning.
But since you told me that you were doing that, I have not snoozed either.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been a week now.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing.
Yeah. And I do get up. I was getting up at 6:30, and I'm getting up at 6. So
yeah.
And I do. I get a lot more done.
Yeah. Instead of having an hour and a half to get ready for work, I have 2 hours. So, and because I'm getting up and the first thing I do is go in the bathroom to turn off the alarm. I go ahead and I jump in the shower. I get my hair done. I get dressed, and then I go out and then I grab my cup of coffee. I don't touch the phone. I don't touch the iPad. I wouldn't watch the TV if it wasn't already on. But I pack my lunch. I just get everything ready, and then I sit and I work on a knitting project or whatever, and I don't touch the social media or anything until 5:45 or 6 o'clock. I have to leave the house by 6:30. So it really gives me a chance to open up and,
into the day.
Yeah, like I sit and I make a plan for the day. It's just, it makes waking up so much more enjoyable when I just, boom, do it. So that's a thing. That's about it. That it for you?
Yeah, I think
All right.
so.
So we'll talk about NETA Spa when we talk about new buys, right? Because that's pretty much what we went for was shopping.
Although we went to the fashion show.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, we have some other stuff to talk about. Stay tuned. So devoured nuts are finished objects.
Oh, finished objects. I'll have to insert pictures of one.
Okay.
Because it's already been given. But the other one.
What was the given one? Oh, you're going to talk about it later?
Oh,
The hat.
yeah. The 6 times is the charm hat. 6 times.
But it came out really nice.
It really did.
Yeah. I think you were knitting on it. Didn't we joke about it being like a Russian hat or something?
I showed it. It was
Yeah.
last podcast, and it did. It truly looked like a Russian.
It did.
What's that dance they do?
Yeah. The little sit down. No. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looked like.
Yep.
Let me get
It was
the
pretty.
pattern out.
It was fuzzy.
Oh, it was fuzzy. It was extremely warm. And Cassie hasn't told me whether she gave it to the girl yet or not. But basically, it was it was a Lion brand Go for Faux. I think that's what it was called, Go for Faux yarn. And it literally was as big around as my thumb.
Oh, this one we pulled apart.
Yes.
Right?
So I was getting nowhere with yarn that big. It was just, I went up needle sizes. I tried everything. And the fabric just was awful. I did not like it. So I had 2 sisters, my mom and me. We took it. It was 3 strands twisted together to make it that big. So we did. We pulled all the strands apart. And that single strand was the trick. It made a perfect brim. The perfect fabric. Just what I was looking for.
Now, was the red the same thing?
Nope, I did not use the red either I didn't use it at all.
You had this, originally you were knitting it with the same thing, just 2 different colors. The same
Yes.
yarn, 2 different colors, but you switched it up.
Yep. So we stripped the black, that was the brim, and then I had a different red heart. I think it was the Hometown USA, in a similar burgundy color. And that weight was fine. Turned out terrific. Yep. So we'll put
That was
pictures
the
in.
trick. Yep, we'll put a picture here.
So, last time I was knitting on these, the baby Cobble shoe. And what do you think?
They're so cute.
I am thrilled with them. I think they look very, very much like the picture. I'm very happy. Very happy
You should
with
be
them.
very proud of. I love them.
They felted really well, and I used Jagger spun yarn,
Yeah.
and it felts beautifally.
It
was
so cute.
really good. I put it in hot water in the washing machine with just a little bit of soap, and I think it took, I checked it every 10 minutes. I think it took 30 minutes to get it to the felted fabric that I wanted.
Now, did you stuff them with anything?
Nope.
To keep the shape?
No,
they
didn't have
they
to.
felted really well.
Yeah,
like
they did.
even on the inside.
Yeah.
They're very, very felted.
Put it in a pillowcase and tied the top of the pillowcase, and I actually threw my wool dryer balls in with for the agitation.
Mm-hmm.
Worked perfectly.
Perfect. Huh.
So
That's
these are for
great.
my baby brother. He's a daddy now.
Well, they're not for
So-
him. His
well,
feet are too big.
It's for my niece, but
For little
Lilith. Yes.
Lilith Anastasia.
Yeah. So I'm very, very happy with those. The pattern was easy. This was, I know it's a paid, I think it's a paid pattern. You can find it through Ravelry.
Yeah, I
But
think
yeah,
I think on the
it's,
last podcast I put a Ravelry link.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And I will this
Becca
time
knits.
too. Yeah.
Nice pattern. That one definitely goes in the keep and do again
Yeah.
binder.
That's awesome.
And I think that was, yes, that and the hat was the
That's it for
instructors.
FOs.
Yep.
I only have a couple. I have the one I'm wearing. This was a test knit for Cordelia. I'm gonna butcher her name. Voltrico. So this was a test knit for her called Délicatesse, And I love the colors. I love the yarn. I love the pattern. It was super quick and easy.
Yeah,
I think
you
I did it in like
no time.
3 weeks. The only thing I would change is I would go down a size because it is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. And the neckline is a little bigger than I expected it to be. So I probably would go down a size. I always do this. I always knit one that's a wee too big.
Grew too.
The yarn, because I wore this at the first day of
Yeah.
because I took this with us on Friday night, and I literally finished the sleeve on Friday night at like the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
It was pretty late.
Yeah, it was probably 12:30.
Yeah.
1 o'clock maybe.
And then the next morning I was weaving in ends, and I wore it unblocked all day, and it looked great.
Yeah.
But when I blocked it, it really, really bloomed.
Yeah.
I do love, it's nice and long. I mean, you can't see it there, but
Covers the bum.
yeah, I have a pair of leggings on, and it looks almost like a sweater dress. I do love it, but I don't have enough here to fill out the patterny bits. My oldest daughter does, so I think I'm gonna give it to her, let her have it, because she has a lot more to fill out. And
You can always go down a size and make you one.
yep, I've got her patterns. The thing I will say is, if you're not used to like the way that I think it's a European thing, the way that the increases are written in European patterns, it's quite different than the way that I've seen in American patterns. So it took a little bit for me to kind of understand it, but she gives a really, really good kind of instruction and example of how to read it, so that it made it. I kept referring back to that every time I'd get to that, the increase rows, and it was just really, really well written. Very easy to understand, very helpful. A lot of tips and things to kind of help you through it. And the size range on it was from like newborn to 3X, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah. In fingering, DK, and worsted. This is the DK weight. I think I did it on a 4 needle, I want to say. No, 6 and 7. 6 on the ribs and 7 on the rest. I got gauge, but the yarn just bloomed on me. So it was a Cloudborne fibers.
Yep.
Yeah. But it is super cozy. I didn't have to wear a jacket today. It was nice. So aside from that, the only other finished object I have is I finished a couple more dishcloths. So, that one's not. I'm taking more credit than I'm due. I finished off my roll of Lily Sugar and Cream, and then I had this random red, I don't even know what kind of yarn it is. It's from
Cotton of some sorts.
some kind of cotton from like Ames, which went out of business 20 years ago. But in the hashtag, the Yarn Hoarders Dishcloth Challenge, I think it's hashtag 2020 Yarn Hoarder Dishcloth Challenge. It's a long one. Someone posted a picture of a red dishcloth done in from the Harry Potter book.
Oh.
Done in the Horcruxes. They actually have, I won't show the chart, but they actually have dishcloths here with the Horcruxes. And she posted one that she had done in the red here. Oh, good gravy. There with the Harry Potter glasses. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. So that's the
next red one.
Yeah. It's not as quick as just the grandma's dishcloth, but I do want to take
some time
at least
for
one when my current whip is done. So those were my only 2 devoured nuts. Whips. What do you got? Mixed nuts, Julie.
Well, I think actually I've only got one active.
Yeah.
And we have both the same.
We do have both the same. Shall we bring them out together?
Sure.
Mine is
Let's see.
mid.
Let me make sure I'm mid Oh boy.
A mid-row.
Me too. Let's see if I can spread it out a little bit.
There, this is the right
Okay.
side.
Yeah. Well, kind of, sort of. I have a short. Yep. I don't know if it'll really do it justice, but kind of hard to see. But yeah.
It's the Papillon.
Yes.
The butterfly. It's actually the moth variant
Yep.
of the Papillon by Marinja. Marinja knits. And I made one mistake. You're supposed to have a pop of color in your separation, and I forgot to do it.
You know what? I did the same thing.
And we're in good company.
Yep. It's supposed to be right here. This
Yeah.
black stripe. It's supposed to
So-
be my white. Oh well.
It's supposed to have white in it. It'll work.
Section will have the white. I'll
It's a
do it right.
design element.
Yes. Evidently, my brain made the decision to
Right.
make a design choice.
So here is the pattern, or this is the front page of the moth variant of the butterfly pattern. So here's what the variant is. It's kind of a different treatment here, and different division of the sections. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun knitting it.
It's hard to put down.
Yeah.
It's addictive.
So quick because it's just knit, and
Yeah.
knit to the next
You
one.
build
knit,
these
knit,
little
knit, knit.
shapes, and then you move on. You build another shape.
Yeah.
and you're just waiting and watching those shapes take shape.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Yeah. And you know, I'm using stitch markers on mine to break up every 10 stitches to help me count. And I love the way with her pattern, when you're doing the short row sections, the way that she has set it up, the count of the short row sections you may start kind of off, but you always end up like right around those 10 stitches. So it's pretty easy. Like, I've messed up a couple of them, and I know it because I'm way off on my markers. I'm like, okay, I got to go back. And but if you pay attention to your markers,
Yeah, this isn't one to
and
do
you
mindless
count?
knitting. You
Yeah,
need
this
to
is-
pay attention.
this is not television knitting.
No.
No. I usually put on some music or something. I've tried to do a little bit of it at work, but I think I'm going to have to leave it at home, because today I ended up having to stop at the end of my break. I had to stop in the middle of a short row section, and when I picked it back up again, I was completely lost, and I did it wrong, and I had to rip back out. So I think it's gonna have to stay at home, unfortunately, because I'm getting a lot.
Yeah. I can do it at work if I go into a corner so I'm not
Yeah.
interrupted.
If I'm on one of the sections where you're just doing the
Like the
You-
contrast color, which is
Yeah.
just a long stretch.
Yeah, it's just you're increasing a couple places, and then you're just coming back, and the great thing is there's no purling. I think there's one section there's a little bit of purling
Oh, is
in
there?
it.
Okay.
The section we left out.
I don't find, if you do mess up, because of the contrast pieces, separations, I don't find it bad to have to rip back.
Yeah,
Because I just go back to that and
yeah.
keep on trucking.
But I'm not going back.
No, you're like, yeah,
I'd have to rip out
way too much.
from here to here.
Yeah, no.
I mean, that's a lot. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Paula.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have to go as far. I'd only have to do that much.
I like it. It's fun, and we actually got to meet
Yeah.
Marin. I'm terrible at names. We actually got to meet her at NETA Spa, which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
She gave us her little card.
These are all the projects that she's completed in the past year, right? I think that's what she said is on there.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Her last year's completed projects.
It's so neat. It's so neat. But there is her information if you want to check her out on Instagram and Ravelry. This is just beautiful. I love that. She was wearing her new pattern, Technicolor Dream Coat.
Yes.
It's kind of, it has like the short row shaping kind of thing. It reminded me of like the butterfly, but in a poncho. Oh my God, it was so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. I loved it.
And she was really sweet. She spent quite a bit of time with us and talked about lots of things.
Yeah.
Took us around and...
Yeah, we didn't even know there was a spinning room.
Building with all the spinners.
So she took us over to see the spinners, which was really neat. And yeah, she caught us at like the tail end of the last day. They were getting ready to shut up the room, so she asked us to wait for her outside, and so we did, and we went and sat at the hotel bar, and unfortunately it was closed. But we chatted and talked, and yeah, she was very, very sweet and super excited. Like she was so encouraging about us knitting this sample for Paula, and it was just really cool to meet like the genius behind this.
Yes,
the design. So I think that's it for whips for me and you, right? What are you wearing, Julie?
Oh,
it's really pretty.
I was going to look up what the pattern is. It's actually from Paula, done Roving. She had a memorial fundraiser for Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah?
And she had a contest that if you made a donation, you win in the contest.
I never saw that. I remember you winning that, but I never saw what you won.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Love the colors.
Gorgeous.
They are my colors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know I looked up the pattern once, but
So
now
pretty.
I cannot remember. It's kind of it's almost like a diamondy pattern.
It reminds me of the pineapple things that
Yep, similar. I don't know if you can see the pattern.
Grammy Gens used to have.
It's kind of hard to see the pattern close up. It's easier to see it far away, but
super pretty.
if I can find a pattern, we'll put it here.
Yep. We sure will. Chop nuts. Anything frogged this?
The 6 times the charms hat got frogged.
Yeah,
5 times.
That got frogged a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the bullfrog.
I just got thinking, if I make another one and have the forethought to write it up, that could be the name of that, 6 times the charm.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you should write it up and publish a pattern.
Oh, golly.
I did not have anything frogged because I was working on this. I mean, there was a lot of ribbiting going on when I was doing it, but I didn't frog anything because this was my primary focus. Gathered nuts, new buys.
Oh boy. So
we went to a fiber event, so you better sit back, grab your tea, and here we go. Remember, I was on a no-buy year. Events
kind of throw that right out the window.
Yeah, baby bathwater, right gone. Yep. You want to go first?
Sure.
All right, I'll let you go first.
So our favorite place when we're in Freeport is
Mother
of Purl yarn shop.
I always you gotta say that shop. Mother of Purl.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just the way it's gotta be said.
Yes, this is true.
So pretty.
Yeah, it is. So I have a thing about Lopi. And when the moth sample is done, then my next in line is another test knit, and it's a yarn that is going to be held with Lettlopi and not Lettlopi, not that one. The Forager is the Lettlopi and the mohair. This other test knit, I'll show it comes with acquisitions, but it's another one held with mohair. But I also like Lettlopi. And they have the best colors.
She's loopy about Lopi.
I am. So they had these beautiful
tons of colors there.
Oh my gosh. And I have, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many, 5, 7, 12 Jen Stein gas sweaters.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking those colors will work very well.
Yeah.
In some
those color worky sweaters of hers. And
yep.
Can I just...
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
So
Yummy.
these I think will be the color work, and then I probably will go with a light to medium gray for the body of the sweater. So I just had to snatch it up because I don't know as I have ever seen these two in one place.
Yeah, she had a ton of colors.
Lots of colors. I mean, I was trying to remember how many little cubbies she had there, and there was at least 3 or 4 cubbies in each color in each cubby.
I think there were 3.
There were
Like
3
1, 2,
layers,
3.
but there were 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might have been 4 colors in
6
each.
times 3. I'll bet there was 18 different colors
Yeah.
there. Anyway, maybe more.
Crazy amount.
Yeah, but I had
But those are totally you.
Yeah, I had to get them. They're so pretty. What else did I get from Mother of Pearl? Oh. We got our...
Oh, yeah.
Yes, our commemorative
Mine's still in the
Spa
bag. I haven't used mine yet.
2020.
There it is.
Yeah. Got a nice little mermaid tail on it. Oh, and she has a nice little notions wall too.
Yeah.
I found some really cool things. These little knitting bobbins. I thought that might be helpful for color work.
Yeah. I used those on the Harriet hat the first time I did it.
Yep. They're worth a try.
Yep.
Oh, and I had to get their Mother of Pearl mermaid pin. I know I did get, what was the other thing I got? Because I put it right to use, and I don't remember what it was.
The
And I don't think
needles.
I can't remember if it was a 2-pack or a 3-pack, but these are nice needles.
Yeah.
They're a nice size. They got the bent tip, which I like. Good size for the Lopi yarn, because there's Lopi projects coming up. And it's got like a satiny finish.
Does it?
It's not.
I haven't
too
opened
slick
mine yet
because it's really satiny.
I've never used the bent tip needles until we were at NETA, and I had to weave in the ends of this, and you let me use one of yours, and I loved it. It's just you can
grab those little stitches a lot easier.
So much easier. So I snagged some too.
Oh, from Paula.
Yes.
Yes, she personally delivered at Spa. So this is my yarn for the test knit. This is Done Roving's DK weight sweater pack in the color Adobe.
I love her sweater pack yarn.
100% superwash merino. One of them I've skeined up already, so you can, or caked up, so you can see it on the cake in the skeins. It's a gorgeous color.
I love it.
I love it.
So pretty. I love the twist on that yarn too. I use that.
Yeah,
in
it's a high
the
twist.
Harpswell, and
Really springy.
yes.
Memory, get good memory.
Such a pleasure to knit with too.
And then stash diving, we have the mohair that will be held with it. So it will make it a little bit lighter. I had to cake these up so I could see what's it going to look like when I knit with it.
Yeah.
So that's somewhat of an idea.
It'll
make it a little lighter. So I think I'm going to like it.
Beautiful.
I think I'm going to like
I love it. You know what we didn't do? We didn't talk about the new yarn on that moth that's from Paula.
Oh, yes,
While we've got Done Roving's information up.
Yes.
This is a new yarn for her. I can't remember any
Trendy
of the
and Chic,
details.
isn't it?
I think that was it.
I think it's called Trendy and Chic.
I'll post the details on it because I do have.
We took a picture of the
Yeah,
info.
we took a picture of the label, so I'll put the label in here. But it does have, I mean, you can see the sparkle. This one's so cool. This is the one I'm knitting with mine, and it's got all these fabulous colors and that sparkle in it. And then yours,
mine
is just the sparkle,
It's kind of a mother of pearl sparkle in it.
Yeah.
It's when you hold it with different yarns, it looks green, and then you'll hold it with something that's got more of a blue, and it'll take on a blue look. Something that's yellow, it kind of takes on the yellow look.
Yeah.
It's just like it's mother of pearl like.
It's really neat.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
And we talked with her about doing, we want to do a lunar moth.
Yes.
And doing that with an undyed.
Yes, just
that without dyeing it, just a plain white with the sparkle.
Yeah, because I think that green will go well.
Yeah.
And this is not the Done Roving yarn, but this is similar to the color that I'm thinking for the lunar moth. We'll talk about this one, but it's blowing it out. It's a minty green. Yeah. But that's kind of the greenish color.
Oh, here we go.
thinking of.
Here's a section that's lightly
yeah,
dyed.
Yeah, so you can see the...
It's got a little purple in it, but you can see it's like...
Yep.
You can see still see the shimmer in it, but...
And I think when you have it next to the green, you're
I
going to
think
get
that's
that
gonna
contrast.
be really,
you're going to get that
really pretty.
glimmer of green.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'll
It's
work
gonna be
well.
awesome for a
I was
lunar
going to
ball.
show too. Paula has the moth packs.
Yes.
So that one is the pack for mine, Georgia Peach moth pack.
I think I still have mine in here. Yep, I do.
Yep.
Mine's still on a bag, but
So that one, that's domestic superwash merino, 7 100-yard skeins, and then you need the one.
yeah.
This is going to be available now. Where when this label was printed, it was.
Yes, that's right. That's my colorway is the Chateau Rose moth pack.
Yep.
Yeah, it used to be ebony that she put with it, but now it's going to be the chic and
Yep.
trendy. Yeah, right, Paula? If I'm saying it wrong, comment
Right.
below.
And then another place I really liked was Into the World.
Yeah.
And I got this one from Into the World.
We got some of their yarn at Rhinebeck.
Yes.
Very
I
nice.
loved this green.
Yeah.
And I don't recall seeing green with this like rusty color in it.
Yeah.
And I picked it up and looked at it and then I couldn't put it down.
Mhm.
So when that happens, it means you're supposed to have
That's
it.
right.
Look at that. See, it does there's a nice little speckle there of a
Yeah.
rusty color.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. So I figured I'd try one of those, and I think it'd be some nice spring socklets, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this was a freebie acquisition. Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Woohoo!
Every time we go on one of these, I won't say stupid adventures because we really do have a good time, but
Yes.
stinking adventures, and we won't talk about that. Every time we go on one of these adventures, Julie comes home with a freebie. She won at, what was it with Christy there? The bazaar, the yarn bazaar.
the yarn bazaar,
Rhinebeck.
yes.
She won something there, and I didn't.
Irish Girls Yarn.
Yeah.
3 Irish Girls Yarn, or 2 Irish Girls Yarn.
And
something
then
like that.
we went to NETA, and at the
Fashion show.
she won something.
They had some fabulous
Sure did.
prizes they
Sure
gave away at that
did.
fashion show.
It's no wonder those fashion show tickets go like lightning.
Yeah, they do. They do the fashion show, and the tickets are free to go, but there's a capacity rule. They cannot have more than so many people.
Yeah.
So there's that number of tickets, and when they're gone, and they go
Yeah.
fast. You
Yeah.
have to be
I was
ready when you get the
surprised
email.
they actually did have a few. They didn't go as quickly this year. I think there was there was a lot of duplicates. People didn't
Oh yeah,
listen to only buy one.
and the only way you could buy 2, they asked that you not go put more than 2 in, and if
Yeah.
you were putting 2 in, they each had to have a different name. So
Yeah.
if you were buying for a friend, you had to put your friend's name on there.
Yeah.
Eh.
There were some that didn't. So there was a few tickets left like a week later because they were
The
canceling
duplicates
duplicates.
were,
So it's highly sought after, and now we know why, because the prizes are fabulous, and
Yep.
so were the fashions.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There are some very creative people.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. My favorite, my particular, I loved the lady with the cloak, the green cloak. And
That was my favorite.
Yeah, that
The
was your
capelet.
favorite?
Yep.
I loved that, but the one that left the biggest impression on me is that woman who had the boyfriend sweater.
Oh gosh,
that
yes.
She started to knit for a boyfriend for Christmas.
Like back in the 60s?
Yeah, something like that. 60s, 70s,
62,
something like that. And then he, of course, broke up with her before Christmas.
That's why you don't do boyfriend sweaters.
It's a curse. Although I did knit my husband his first sweater this year, so
Ooh.
I might be available. No, kidding. But she hadn't knit on it in like decades, and then she finished it last year at
For the
NETA.
fashion
It was
show, yeah.
so amazing. And the way that she told the story was
it was hilarious.
she was very eloquent and very hilarious. Yeah, it was cool.
Because she wore it to her class reunion, right?
Yes.
Isn't that what it was? She wore it to her class reunion.
This is what you missed. Look what you missed out on.
And
oh my God, it
did
was
she
hilarious.
say he wasn't there or something? So it wasn't quite the impact she wanted,
Yeah.
but she told anybody, if you know so-and-so, tell him
Tell
his
him
sweater's done.
My God, it was hilarious.
It was
Yeah.
funny. And then there was a guy there that knit,
It was like a felted,
Yeah.
he did like, yeah.
it was a hat, and it was kind of like a forest scene. He had cats. He'd made little cats that were on the top. Some were fishing and drinking and by the
It was
campfire.
so cool. I don't think I got a very good picture of it, but
It was really cool. It
And
was
then on the
very
back,
creative.
like you put the hat on, and then on the back it was all like blue, like a waterfall. It was so cool, so cool.
Yeah, there was some really very cool stuff.
Yep.
Those
Here's her
were-
winnings.
Yes. So I got a fabulous prize from Tidal Yarns. The pattern comes with, so the 2 skeins that I won, I can make all 3 of those hats.
So cool.
But I went by the booth to tell her thank you, and she had, oh, I didn't put that one in here. Oh, doggone it.
Oh, the headband?
Yes. You can also, with the 2 skeins, which here is her yarn, and it is
It's so
luscious.
pretty.
Luscious. Tidal Yarns, there she is. And, oh, I'm covering her Facebook. There's her Facebook and her Instagram. This is approximately 4 ounces, approximately 240 yards. This color is Whirled. And this color is, SB. I'm not sure what SB is, but they are beautiful. And they're definitely worsted, maybe even bulky.
Yeah.
The
Borderline bulky.
yardage kind of looks like it might be worsted, but it is a little bit more of a rustic, but
Yeah.
not scratchy.
It's plump.
Yep.
It's like squishy.
Very. Look at how I can squish that
Yeah.
down and boink.
Yeah.
It's really nice yarn. I had a lady that walked by when the whole thing ended, and she goes, "You won a fabulous prize." Yes, I did.
I did, thank you.
So yes, anyway, in her booth she had samples there of headband and little socks. And these little socks, they were like a slipper sock, but they reminded me of like the Victorian era.
Yeah.
That you might see them walking around in the house
Yeah.
with these little slipper socks.
They were like booty kind
almost
of.
like pixie shoes.
Yeah. They were super cute.
They were, and the headband was really, it caught my eye because it was really wide, and then it came down to a narrower band in the back. And it's made small so that it's snug and stays on. She said it stays on very well.
It almost reminded me of like a 1920s flapper. You know, the flappers used to wear those headbands, the wide headband. That's what it reminded me of. But like with a Celtic, it had like Celtic knots or braids or
cables or something.
on it. Yeah. But that's what it reminded me was those wide. They used to wear them down here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what it
So
reminded me
I
of.
can get the slippers and the headband out of this. So, because we both were at the fashion show and I won, she's going to get the slipper socks and I'm going to get the headband out of the yarns. So that was very, very fun. And at the end of the fashion show, they announced that next year they're going to do a contest. And the contest will be out of something from their free table.
Yes.
So they have, every time at Spa, they have usually more than one table where anybody can bring yarn or needles or books or anything that they just want to let go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So one of the tables has all these yarns on it, and they don't want to have to take all these yarns that nobody ends up taking because there's so much there. They didn't want to have to deal with it, so they came up with this contest, which I thought was pretty clever.
Yeah.
So you have to take something from the yarn table, and you have to make something out of it for the fashion show next time.
So you're going to get up and model your...
Well, I'm going to try. So I did get a couple of this is definitely
She's
a
getting all
Turkish.
dry mouth thinking about it.
I am. I'm like, where's my water? This is definitely a turtle from a Turkish spindle. So I know that that's a hand spun, and I really liked that. And then this one I think
That looks
at some
hand-spun,
point
too.
was on a turtle-like shape, but since has maybe been rewound into just a ball. But yeah, it definitely looks hand spun.
Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
variance in it. So I figured with those two colors, and I also got a braid of targi, which I didn't bring. But I always like getting targi fiber when I can find it, because I really like spinning targi. And Port Fiber. Casey at Port Fiber had the targi braid that I usually get. So, yeah, I'll do some other hand spun, combine with, and come up with something. It can be whatever. The only thing they said is it had to have
come from the...
stuff from the freebie fiber table. Yeah.
And there wasn't much left because
Right.
we didn't go down and look at the free table right away. We didn't actually really paw through it until Sunday, and it was slim pickings. It was long,
It's getting scarce.
long after they had announced what the theme of next year's fashion show was. So people picked it over pretty darn good.
What was left was kind of the yarn vomits.
Yeah. Oh, there was some vomit. Oh my God. It was like
Yeah.
Sunday morning after a long party. It was awful.
But I love that. So
I know. And then there were other women there that were like, they were women that were untangling this stuff. And I'm like, oh my, how can
I love
send it to her?
Yep.
Ugh.
Love it. It's so satisfying when you finally get it all untangled. You're like, yes.
I can deal with baby vomit, but that adult stuff,
Good. I'll send you any baby vomit I encounter.
You got a book from Casey too, right?
Oh, yes. I've seen these around and always kind of wanted to try them. I don't know how you actually say that name. I don't know if it's just moleskin or moleskine. It looks like moleskin, but it's got an E on the end, so I'm not sure. But it's a quad journal. So it's got the graph paper like in it. And Casey was saying she loves it. She has one that's more like for the business, and one that's more just her creative journal. So that's
Bullet journals.
like a
Great
bullet journal.
journals.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to try.
Cool.
See how that works.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
You sure?
Oh, I don't know, but it's probably enough.
What did I get? Judy wasn't buying any yarn this year, remember?
Judy
Guess what Judy got?
Judy did all
I
right.
did really good, though. I did really good. The first day, I went around the marketplace, and I didn't get anything. We went to Mother of Purl, and I bought a few things on my actual list. Like, I could still have not found the perfect yarn bowl. If y'all know somebody who can make the perfect yarn bowl, please let me know, because I need the perfect yarn. I just haven't found one that sings. I wanted some things, because Michael is having a really hard time with the sweater I made him. He's having a hard time delineating the front from the back. So this is not going to be his, obviously, but I did get some of these little, what are they?
They're
from Katrinkles.
vegan leather.
Vegan
right?
leather, yeah. So I got 2 of those with the little peach colored heart. He doesn't want the peach colored heart. This one's kind of neat with the state of Maine on it. I might convince him to let me put that on there. Yeah, so I had wanted to get a few tags like that. So I did. And then I got our commemorative stitch marker, the needles that Julie talked about. Oh, and I almost forgot. I got this cute little thing.
Yes.
It's called Stitch Dots by Bryson Distributing. And it's this little pouch with...
The old coin squeezy.
Yeah,
Remember the coin pouch?
Coin pouch. And it's got all these little discs that you can put on your balls of yarn or on your stitch mark, on your work,
Project.
whatever. Like this one says right side. I've got one of those on this shawl that I'm doing now. And then they also had, I don't think there's any here because I'm using them all. They have ones that are marked like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, no, I don't have them. They're all on my...
And they have like increase and decrease.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. There's like increase, decrease, there's end. But I thought they were neat for this, especially for this shawl that I'm doing, to have your different balls of yarn marked for like, in her pattern they're marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I marked them A, B, C, D, E, F, or whatever. It just makes it easy to know which color to grab next without having to think, because I don't do that well. So that was my first mother of pearl stop. Yes, we went twice.
Yes.
And then because I hadn't bought yarn yet, we decided I needed a souvenir skein, right? You don't go to a event without doing a souvenir skein. So we stopped at Spunky Eclectic. There's her information. And I saw this. I wanted something kind of springy. I don't have a lot of greens and yellows in my knit wardrobe, so I thought this would be kind of pretty. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it because I don't usually buy yarn without an intended project, and I don't know what I was thinking. I'll find something. I'll find something from my stash to go with it and make something pretty.
She had some gorgeous.
Oh my God, she
yarns
really
there.
did. She really, really did. And then I think right next door to her was Mad Color Fiber.
Oh, yeah.
Mad Color Fiber Arts. She was such a sweetheart. Mad
And
Color
she's
Fiber Arts.
back.
She
has been
back.
away
Yes.
for a bit.
she was off the circuit for a while, and now she is back and doing events again, and stunning yarns. So there is her information. I know that's probably not very clear.
Get my face out, it might focus then.
But I'll put her information in the description and below here. Heather Spellman, that's her name, and she was so sweet. I picked up one of these skeins of yarn. This is Rogue Fingering, 400 yards, 114 grams, 80% superwash merino, 20 nylon, 4 ply. And it's just so pretty. The browns and the greens and the blues. My husband actually fell in love with this yarn when I showed it. But there was a shawl that was hanging up over her yarn, and it was just so pretty the way that the colors kind of fell into this little almost like a square grid hanger.
Or something.
Yeah, it was really cool. And it was called Strand Wanderer. So she wrote down the name of the pattern for me so I could go find it. And she said it took about 2 skeins, so I went ahead and purchased the second. So that's probably what that's going to end up being. Unless I find something, a 2 skein project for a man. But yeah, we're very excited that you're back.
Yes.
And then on our way home, we went to Mother Purl again. I can't remember why we went back.
The stitch marker.
We went back for the stitch marker.
Yeah.
So I went back for this. And I got this. Yeah, that's a problem. I had been drooling over Blue Moon yarn.
Which is kind of like their house yarn.
Yeah, it's a mother of pearl yarn, right? It's hand dyed in tiny batches in the mother of pearl dye kitchen, making colorful one-of-a-kind fibers. It's 90% wool, 10% silk, 400 yards, 100 grams. So this is called their Silly Sock base, and this one is... Oh, they don't have a colorway, do they?
Oh, I think that's what we were seeing, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a colorway.
Not necessarily a colorway for them.
But they just had so many really fun,
yeah.
cool... I mean, I could have... Honestly, we were sitting there putting stuff together, and... Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But this one really caught my eye because of the greens and the corals and the
Look at
purples.
the pop of purple
I
in there.
know,
It's really
I
cool.
love that purple. So I wanted something to go with it, and I decided to get this and this to go with it, and I just love it. And I really do think this is going to end up being the 3-color cashmere cowl by Joji Locatelli. I just think it would be really, really beautiful together. And then I cannot pass up a good mini. And I found these gorgeous little minis. I found 4 of them. Well, I found 2 of them, and then I found one more, and then there was an orphan, and I couldn't leave him behind. So, me and orphans. But that is also a Blue Moon mother of pearl yarn. And I think if there's any left from Joji's cowl, I think this would be really nice to do God knows what with, but I'll figure it out.
You could have contrast socks.
I could.
That would work really well.
And, my free yarn from the free bin that I'm going to do a project with. Again, I have no freaking idea what project I'm going to do. I'll be crazy until I figure something out. This I got just because it's white cotton and, dishcloths. But it does kind of go with the rest of the stuff. And then this was in the free bin, and it looks like spring socks, and I need it. But I think this is what I'm going to do. My...
whatever it will be.
Whatever project I figure out, because, God, I can't believe I did that. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's another cotton. I don't know if I'll put it with it or not. It kind of looks good with it, but I don't know if it'll work. But these are probably going to be mittens or something, or a hat. I don't know. All kinds of purples.
Yeah.
I think there's like 3 different weights there, but we'll make it work.
Start for color work right there.
Right. That was my free yarn. So there we go. That is, wow. That's what happens when you go on a fiber event. No moldies?
Oh, yeah.
Philomena.
Moldies, yeah.
I don't have any moldies.
She's still marinating. And Ziggy's right there, too. I gotta pick Ziggy back up.
Yeah.
What else do I have? Marinating. I have a Boyd hat from John Arvin that I really want to get done.
I don't have... The only other project I have besides moth is Kayla's Sockosaurus. And it's not gotten any love.
Yeah. Once I get done with the moth.
Yep.
And the test net. And my forager. And the 3 moldies.
Oh, my Lord.
So, yeah, really, after this test net, I need to just not do... I can't take on another test net.
Yeah.
This was kind of funny. Because it's for Joji. And I did not sign up to do the test net. But all of a sudden, I got an email about, here, test net. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And she replied back and said, oops, I think my email chose the wrong Julie.
Oh, no. Well, you've got the pattern now.
So I will knit the test knit.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny.
That is hilarious. Yeah, Cordelia keeps asking. She sent me a sweater pattern to just like test read. And I'm sorry, Cordelia, if you watch. I haven't had a chance to even peek at it, really. It just, there's been too much going on. And then she also sent me a lovely shawl that she just released called Lorette, I think. It's her, if you go to her Ravelry page, which I'll include, it's her newest release, and it's a beautiful, beautiful shawl. But I just have not had a chance to do anything more than what I'm doing right now. And then that kind of segues right into Crave Nuts. Dream, what's going to be next on your needles? You've said
next on the
forager?
needles. No, I kind of have to do concurrent with the moth. Probably is the test knit.
Yeah.
And then after that, it'll be the forager.
Forager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I finish moth,
I say the forager. It might have to be Philomena because we're gonna have yarn cruise coming.
Right. Yarn cruise is only a couple months away, and we gotta. Yeah, you gotta wear that, girl. I would like to squeeze one more sweater in before the end of sweater weather. And that would be the Sturgill.
Sturgill.
Yeah. I bought that in October at Rhinebeck, and I gotta do it. So I think that'll probably be the next thing on the needles. And then I'm going to cleanse my palette with the ale hat. That I also bought in October.
Keeps coming back around.
I know. It's ridiculous. There is some little things I have to do. There is a crocheted seat belt cover that you just crochet back and forth, and then you button it down. You put buttons on it, and I think I'm going to adapt it to be smaller. Lincoln has a really hard time with his car seat straps cutting into his neck because he's such a little peanut. Yeah. So I think I'm going to knit him a couple of those to put on, and then of course I'll have to knit Dylan a pair too. Of course. So that will probably be like right after, because there's going to be more travel time in the car. So that's it for Craved. Nut Dish products or reviews or mails or anything like that. I don't think I have
just
any.
Basically, the yarn that we're using for the moth there. I mean, I love it.
Yeah,
it's got a nice twist. It's not splitting. It's a little, to me, it's a little on the lighter fingering side.
Yeah.
But it's working great for this pattern.
Yeah.
And I'm really loving knitting it.
Me too. Yeah, I love that sparkle.
Oh, the sparkle one is so fun.
Gosh, that's so pretty.
And you would think it's going to be scratchy.
Not at all.
It's not scratchy.
No.
And even the fiber, the glittery piece, whatever it is in there, it's twisted in so well that's not even splitting and catching.
No, I've had no trouble with it whatsoever, and I've ripped out a few times.
Yeah, that was what worried me in the beginning, trying to get the hang of the pattern. You really have to do like the first 4 shapes, and once you get the first 4 shapes down, then all of a sudden it'll click. And you're like, now I see what she's doing.
She says in her pattern,
I ripped that out several times, and the yarn held up. Great.
Yeah. She says in her pattern to just start knitting it. Like, don't read ahead, and she's right.
Yeah.
So right. Just do it. Just jump in and do it.
Yep.
Yeah, the yarn is fabulous.
And I know we mentioned the short rows thing. A lot of times with short rows, you have to go back and then resolve, or not, the wrap and turn.
You pick up.
You have to resolve that wrap.
No, you don't. You just knit right over it. It's awesome. It is awesome.
Yep.
The only other reviews or anything I have is if you can get your hands on anything Mel Robbins, she's amazing and funny and blunt and honest, and listening to her books the format is she's doing a one-on-one coaching session with someone, and some of it hits a little close to home for this girl, let me tell you. And I'm getting so much out of it. I can't get enough of her books. I'm eating it up. So if you can get a hold of it, get a hold of it. It's
the
awesome.
First one is what, the 5-second rule? That's the one I just...
5-second rule is the first book I read. I don't know when they were, how chronologically they were published, but the 5-second rule, I think it's kind of what started her fame. She gave a talk on TED Talks about the 5-second rule, and then that kind of went viral, and that kind of...
The book came from the TED Talk?
Yeah. She had a talk show for a while. Actually, just recently, she posted on Instagram that her show got canceled, which sucks. She was an attorney for a long time before all of this, and she was a consultant for CNN for a while. Yeah, she should do a lot of stuff on CNN. But yeah, she's funny. She's blunt. she's amazing. So, can't say enough about Mel. And if you want to come to my house and give me a one-on-one, girl, you can tell me how it is. I would love it because I need it.
So we get her here, and then we get KonMari.
Yes. We'll get Mel Robbins here to straighten out our heads, and then we'll get Marie Kondo here to straighten out our house. Please. I don't have any other reviews or anything, or products or recommendations. Do you?
No, not right now, I guess.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
We really appreciate you spending time with us.
To follow us individually on social media, where can we find you, Julie?
I'm Jules Larrabee on Ravelry and Larrabee Julie on Instagram.
And I'm Nana's House 15 on Ravelry and Nana's _House 15 on Instagram. So until next time, stay nutty and keep knitting. Bye! Hi, this is Judith. Please stay tuned after the outro for some scenes from NETA Spa 2020 from Freeport, Maine. Thanks for watching.